Alrighty guys, I'm so sorry I've not posted a vacuum video in a while. Um, but here I am back. I'm sorry I've been busy with family and other stuff like that. It's been spring break. I'm going back to school on Monday. Anyway, so I'm bringing you here another vacuum, an Oreck Edge. That's right. This model I got refurbished off of eBay for $120. I believe these machines originally sold for around $600 back in the day when they were being sold. This machine is discontinued from Oreck. It is no longer in production. I believe this is one of the Orecks that were made in the USA. Well, the newer ones are technically made in the USA, but they're with globally outsourced components because they're now owned by TTI. That also owns Dirt Devil, Hoover, Royal, and a couple other vacuum companies. But the way you can tell if an Oreck was like fully made in the USA is whenever it has like that little registered logo. That's whenever you can tell that it's a completely made in the USA model. This Oreck, like it doesn't take your typical Oreck CC bag. It doesn't say what type of bag this is. This is a HEPA bag. This came with the machine whenever I first bought it brand new. Odor fighting bag, so I don't really know what type of bag this is because it doesn't say it on the bag. But yeah. Again, Oreck refurbished these on eBay and they were selling them. Now I believe they also made a Forever Gold series of this. Now, I personally heard that this is probably one of the worst Orecks that were ever made because of some difficulty issues I believe that they had. And plus, it's not your typical Oreck. Like it doesn't weigh 8 to 10 pounds. It weighs about 14 to 15 pounds. So it's definitely relatively heavy, especially for an Oreck. Now, this vacuum it has average edge cleaning, but it's not really as impressive as it could be because, especially since it's called the Oreck Edge. But the main reason why they called it the Oreck Edge was because of this extension wand right here. Now, basically, what you do is, hopefully if I do it right, you pull up this orange thing until it gets all the way up there and locks in place, and you pull it out, and then you can basically use it to sweep the edges along the baseboard. Now this really doesn't not work good as an extension wand because the hose is relatively short and it's all the way down there at the base of the vacuum, so it's really kind of hard to reach up and vacuum like ceiling fans or high up baseboards. Yeah, now this vacuum, it does have some nice rubberized wheels, which I'll even show you that on the bottom. See, they have nice rubberized wheels. It has a wooden brush roller in it with averagely stiff bristles. Similar stiffness to like an Oreck XL21, XL Platinum Pilot, Oreck Elevate Command and Conquer. This does have a squeegee on it to like vacuum hard floors. You see, it does have edge groomers. This actually does groom the carpet really well, which that's one thing that Orecks have been known to be good at. Now, definitely one complaint that I have of this, another complaint I do have of this vacuum is that like it's definitely like I do have an Oreck XL Platinum, which is basically the same thing as an XL21, and like it's much easier to use and maneuver than this vacuum because this vacuum is relatively tall and it's kind of hard to maneuver and all that stuff, especially since it doesn't have a swivel neck on it. And plus, it doesn't really get underneath stuff all that well. And if you lay it completely flat, then the power head raises off the floor. Another thing that I do have a complaint about is that like whenever I'm rolling it down the hallway or whatever, Now I do make sure it's locked in place, but sometimes the power head comes clashing down whenever I'm rolling it down the highway. I mean, not the highway, I'm sorry, the hallway. Like, I might be able to show you that right now. Yeah, sometimes it does it. Maybe it's, I don't know, it might be something more common to happen on hard floors. But I don't really want to do it on the hard floor because I don't want to break anything. Another thing that was kind of a more complaint with the Oreck Edge was the speed control. Now, it wasn't really two speeds, like, say for example, like an Oreck XL21. It had a low speed for hard floors and a high speed for carpets, but this is kind of an unbalanced speed thing. Like, it's like several different speeds. Like, I'll be able to show you that here. Like you see, I pushed it all the way down to its low speed because I pressed it several times. Now watch this. Now whenever it's in upright mode, it has a diverter down there where the fan is, and it diverts it to the hose here. But whenever you recline it back, it diverts it to the cleaner head. Now at points, it doesn't really happen too much anymore. Now knock on wood, but whenever I first got this machine, like, it was having trouble at first with the suction diverter. Like, sometimes whenever I would have it reclined back and powered on, like, it would still be in hose mode because it would have trouble diverting over to the floor. So that's one another negative thing that probably happened on a lot of these Oreck Edge, is that the suction diverter kind of had some trouble diverting from the hose to the floor. Now, I don't know if at first maybe it was just because it was a new part that they put in the machine. It doesn't really happen anymore. Again, knock on wood. It does have a nice rubberized handle here for easy comfort. Now let me show you like what the suction diverter. Let me show you that, guys. You guys heard that? Yeah. Now this machine does have pretty average agitation. I mean, I do feel like the agitation on my XL Platinum is slightly better, and the airflow is slightly better as well. I will admit this Oreck Edge definitely does deep clean a lot better than my Oreck XL Classic with the whiny and sort of ear-piercing loud motor in it. So yeah, as you see, it does have a cord hook down back here. It has a pretty hard bag too, so it's really not going to be one of those types of outer bags to easily rip, and it does produce pretty good filtration as well. Now, I believe it was back in 2017 whenever I got this machine. Again, I got it refurbished off of eBay from Oreck. The price at that time was like $130. I believe they've gone down though to I think $90 now. Yeah, and again, it's not a bad machine. Again, I've heard that the two worst Orecks that were made from Oreck was the Edge and the Touch bagless. Now, yeah, I've seen a lot of problems with the Oreck Touch bagless and how it always got clogged, and filters always got dirty on it. I mean, this isn't a bad machine at all, but it's really, but to me, it's kind of difficult to use. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and run it for you guys. I know it's the part you guys been waiting for, so here we go.